pleasure this morning to introduce my good friend and the Assistant Director of the Soto Zen International Center, Reverend Taiga Ito. And he's going to share with us this morning about the campaign that the Soto School has been working on over the past several years. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello. Hello. Yes. Hello, everybody. Hello. So thank you for introducing me, Ejo-san. And my name is Taiga Ito. And before my talking, I'm sorry about if I'm lack of the language skill. I'm not good at the speaking English, not like Ejo-san's Japanese. He's really good. So if there's anything you can understand or if you can catch, please ask Ejo-san. Because he's going to be translated to me. Anyway, thank you very much. My name is Taiga Ito. And I'm coming from San Francisco and I'm working in Soto Zen Buddhism International Center. And which is our center, our office is affiliated office of Soto Zen Administrative Office headquarters in Japan. And actually 2 offices, affiliated offices in North America. One is our office, International Center, and the other one office called North America Soto Zen Buddhism Office, North America Soto Zen Buddhism Office. And today, my colleague coming from Los Angeles, his name is Dokan Kojima. He's working in the office, administrative office. And also Ejo-san is helping the office. And basically what we're doing is an international center. We are doing the dissemination work. And dissemination work is like we making the teaching materials, brochures, and so on. But the main thing is traveling, visiting Zen centers, temples, and sitting together, talking together, and sleep together. Then exchanging about the Buddhism, the teaching with the centers and the temples. And also we doing the Dharma talk in everywhere. Yes. Then now today I'm talking about the SDGs. Does anyone know the SDGs? You do? The SDGs the SDGs stand for Sustainable Development Goals, and which is the underneath of your zafu at the cushion, there's a brochure. Yes, that is the SDGs, and I describe with the paper because it's difficult to speak and it takes so long to understand it. But that is it's a United Nations project, not project, but there's 70 goals. and every goals, please look into the paper. And every goals that related to the future. I mean, these SDGs goals stand for the future of the earth, actually, for the environment, for humanity, and so on. And that goals are set for 2030. So we have left just 10 years. And at the moment, I think the level of implementation is quite low, I think, for these goals. And I won't say, please do some, I want you to do some actions for, it's okay with any goals, any pick of them. And if you find some activities related to these goals, please do step forward. And why this goals is related to the Buddhism? Because I think that these practices of our practices, like knowing contentment, generosity, compassion, and not wasting anything, that we are always practicing teaching that have a deep affinity with SDGs. All the teachings, it's going to be related with the SDGs if you read all the goals. And also, Dogen Zenji said that true human body covers the entire world in 10 directions, which is in Fukanza Zengi and Shinjin Gakudo. That means your body is related with the world. So I think the SDGs is for these activities. It's for the earth, of course, and for the people, of course. But before that these activities related to you and your life. And way with the thinking, if you see the goals and the target, that is like one way of the life, way of the living. So, and I will not say any the samples or the example activities, movement, but if you see the goals and if you find something, please do step forward. And also, on the other hand, I really think about the recognition for the SDGs is the first step of the movement. So, in SDGs, the central promise of the SDGs is leaving no one behind. But in reality, there's already someone is left behind. And it depends on the situation. Someone, they couldn't think about the SDGs because of the income, because of the age, because of the race, because of the genders. So there's many people still cannot move. I mean, still haven't got any step forward. So please talk about the SDGs and think about SDGs with neighbors in the community. And that little the movement between like me and you, it's going to be spread. So please step forward and talk about the SDGs. Yes, then now I'm talking about the another sustainable thing for us. For here, the one big sustainable thing for us is Zazen. Yes, so now I would like to talk about Zazen. So why we do the Zazen? You know, in Buddhism, there's 3 pillar important thing. One is teaching, one is Zazen, another one is wisdom. These 3 things are important, the main things in the Buddhism. The teaching is teaching, so you study books and the ancient teachings, the teachings from ancient priests. And Zazen is like refreshing. I mean, sitting and making the empty. Don't think, like making the refresh the body and mind. And wisdom. Sometimes the wisdom is coming from the teaching, from Zazen. The wisdom is coming to you sometimes. But be careful, this wisdom is easy to change. Depends on the situation, depends on the condition, depends on your environment. So people sometimes make a mistake that wisdom is going to be enlightenment, but these wisdom you find it is easy to change. So that's why we have to keep the study and Zazen for forever. So that means that is the sustainable. Keep this teaching, sitting, wisdom is all circulating and keep continuing. And we keep trying, practicing these 3. So Zazen is one biggest sustainable thing for us. And the other point of view for the Zazen, the body, our body, is one part of the universe. I'm sorry, I'm speaking like so. Why I say that universe is like your body is never stop. If when you're sleeping, your heart keep beating, and your skin feels something and never stop. And the nature, they never stop. Even morning and night, anytime they doesn't stop. And also the earth, it's never stop. It's keep rolling. I mean, it keep moving. So the one point of view for the Zazen is when you sit Zazen and you don't think that you think nothing, making the empty, and don't close your eyes. And what you feel is your body return to the nature, return to the universe. So from next time, if you have a chance to, when you sit Zazen, please harmonize with the nature and the universe. For example, the Sawaki Kodo Roshi, Kodo Sawaki. He said that when you sit zazen, the Dharma hall sitting with you, and all the cushions also sitting with you. And everything around you is sitting with you. And you are sitting with the universe. And I couldn't understand actually the means of it. And I didn't think even about it. But when I meet this word, this is about the Buddha when he sit or when he get enlightenment. The teaching said, I together with the great earth and the sentient beings simultaneously attain the way. Yes, these words I found and I studied. I understand a little bit. Not completely, a little bit. Then start to think about what its meaning. And recently I feel just a little by little, but when I sit, everybody sit, everything sit, everything around you is sitting with you. And you harmonize and together. And that time I'm little bit feel empty. I mean, you know what I mean? Nothing in my mind, but the feel when the wind is blowing your cheek, or sometimes it's the zendo is shaking, it's a little bit shaking kind of that thing. So that is so enjoyable, and zazen is more fun, joy, and it's getting more familiar with it. So please, if you have a chance from next time, the zazen is one of our biggest sustainable thing. So please feel the zazen. Please feel the zazen. And this is last one of my talking. I'm talking about the SDGs again. The goal 17 is doing be together. And doing be together, it's actually Soto Zen Buddhism in North America having the 100th anniversary next year, 2022. So 1922, the director of Hawaii, his name is Hosen Isobe, Reverend Hosen Isobe. He's moving to Los Angeles, 1922, and he made the first Soto Zen temple in Los Angeles, which called Zen Shuji. And that year we counted that was the first year of the Soto Zen in North America. And next year is 2022. And these 99 years, there's many, the Soto Zen movement it's happened. Of course, the Soto Zen is starting from Japanese immigrant, but since that we have the World War II, and after that, the sitting movement spread all over the North America, and Japanese Buddhism and American Buddhism is it's going like the parallel. And sometimes it's getting big closer. But, 100th anniversary is, I think we should go back to we have to remind that there's many lineages, or there's many ways, and also there's many way of thinking how the Soto Zen, but just only there's one concrete thing, is that the Soto Zen is one Shakyamuni Buddha and two ancestors. This is our lineage. So I'm visiting the Zen centers or the meeting the priest, and keep saying that it's okay with your lineage, it's fine, but our lineage is Shakyamuni Buddha and two ancestors, Dogen Zenji and Keizan Zenji. This is a concrete thing. And we have the 100th anniversary next year. So, of course, the Ejo-san we are working on it. And please, next year, please help us. And please celebrate together, all together. And having the good celebration for next year. Thank you very much. No, this is one word. Last one word from, this is my favorite word from Keizan Zenji. Yeah, your life is not good as you hope, but not bad as you think. That is like Zen. Thank you very much.
So we have some time, I think, for questions, if anyone has a question. And Taiga-san told me yesterday he really prefers the difficult questions. Just kidding. Anything is good.
Questions?
In your last speaking, it sounds like you're talking about a feeling of wanting to unify in North American Soto Zen.
Yes.
And you've been traveling. Could you say some about what that has felt like in these different places, given that there's different senses of lineage?
Yes, okay, so can I speak from the beginning? I mean, there's a book called American Sutra, right? The Daihonzan. That book describing about how the Japanese immigrant survived with their Dharma, I mean, when World War II. Yeah, so that was happened and after that, in 1960s, the North American director of North America, the Soto Zen Buddhism North America, his name was Reverend Yamada. He was after the North America director, he go back to Japan. Then he was abbot of Eiheiji, so Zenji after that. But when he was in North America in the early 1960s, he called to the Japanese temples to do the Zazen classes to the local people, not only for members, because Zazen is the one of our biggest teaching, and also it's not necessary to speak so much. Just sit, and it's good for the also this is good for the dissemination. So he asked for the Zen Shuji in Los Angeles and Sokoji in San Francisco. And at that time, in the Zen Shuji, the Reverend called Maizumi Roshi was in the Zen Shuji, and he started the Zazen classes to local. And at that time, also in the Sokoji, the abbot is Shunryu Suzuki. So he started the Zazen classes to locals. And since they start the classes, the many young people coming to attend. And at that time, you know the flower child, the hippie movement, and the Zazen is so, it's like sensational for the young people. And every time they have Zazen classes, the participants getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And honestly, if you read the American Sutra, the Japanese immigrant denied the movement. After through the World War II, and they kept the temples during the wartime, and so Maizumi Roshi and also Suzuki Roshi have to find the new places near the temple. So Suzuki Roshi found the San Francisco Zen Center, which is 5 blocks away from Sokoji. And also Maizumi Roshi found the Los Angeles Zen Center. It's near the Zen Shuji. So they still keep doing their duty, both of them. And from that point, the Japanese Buddhism, the temple and local Zen centers, the temple is getting to the parallel way. And many people do practice with these two Zen centers. After that, the first time the Suzuki Roshi and also Maizumi Roshi, they wanted to send their student to Japan. So actually Suzuki Roshi sent 3 students. The Maizumi Roshi also tried. But I don't know why, I don't know the details of it, but it's not carrying on. So these parallel way is not how to cross. But still, Katagiri Roshi and Chino Roshi was asked to help these Zen centers. And they also find new places. And most of them most of the Zen centers, they say this is the Suzuki lineage, Maizumi lineage, Katagiri lineage. But basically, the local Zen centers doesn't know about these parts. So not all of them, but most of them don't know about the 100th anniversary thing. 100th anniversary. So most of the centers, I'm saying the 2022, we have the 100th anniversary, and they're surprised. So this is good timing. There's 2 ways, and there's a spreading, but we are the one lineage, under the one umbrella, which is Shakyamuni Buddha and the 2 ancestors. So I want we get together, and 100th anniversary is once in a lifetime. Of course, 99 and 98 is once in a lifetime, but 100th anniversary is a big impact on it. So I keep calling them and asking to Zen centers also. temples to get together and make a big celebration. And that is my feeling. I mean, yeah, it's okay for you.
Yes.
That's okay.
I have a question
Yes.
about the Sustainable Development Goals and the
Okay.
connection with Buddhism. And it's so meaningful. I didn't know that these the Sustainable Development Goals have been, adopted or embraced by Soto Zen. And so I look at this, and this is the Bodhisattva vow, yes, saving all beings. And I'm just curious where that came from, where the movement or the idea came from for Soto Zen School to be connected with these goals.
Yes, these goals, actually I described for this part,
Okay.
but we have some teachings is related with these goals. For example, like goal 5, gender equality. And our teaching, there's one teaching. Essentially, there is no one thing, which is from Eno Zenji. And that teaching, if we think about the gender equality, so basically we are human, so there's no men, women, and there's nothing, just same. Kind of the teaching, and we can find more, or honestly more teachings related to these goals, but especially for 3 things, the Soto Zen in Japan is gender, human race, and the environment.
What was the second one?
The human race.
Ah.
So the essentially there is not one thing, it's one example. But I hope if you find some teaching from from our text, like Dharma, like Fukan Zazengi, there's many hint in that book. So please study and looking forward. And also in next year, the Dharma Eye, Treasure of Dharma Eye, from official English version is publishing next year. I mean, should be February 2023. Finally, we spent 22 years to make that book, and finally, for the 100th anniversary time, it's going to be released. So I'm excited.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question about the Sustainable Development Goals. I'm wondering if there's cataloging or communication or reporting around that, so that as Buddha Eye Temple is working toward the Sustainable Development Goals, we can share that with other communities, or if we're curious about what other temples are doing on any of these points, is there communication around that at all?
何かの記録に残している例えばここで実現時で何かじゃあやりましょうってなった場合はそれでどっかに知らせるとかお互いいろんなお寺どういうことをやってるのかとかそのインフォメーションを集めてますか
Yes, actually, I told you I'm coming from San Francisco, and in Bay Area. In the Bay Area, there's another 3 Zen schools international offices. One is Jodo Shinshu West, and one is Jodo Shinshu East, and Nichiren-shu. And now we form the one organization is the Bay Area Buddhist Association. And these organization, we are doing the seminar or the seminar for the SDGs, and twice a year, and online actually. And in that seminar, after the talk, we have the group discussion and we ask to talk what kind of thing your community or your temple or yourself doing for the SDGs, and we will show it on the website what we talk about that and what we did, and maybe in the future we will set some goals like with the aims to do something among the organization. So that kind of movement we do, but I don't know officially. So is there any, that he's working in the
Yeah, he's worked in the UN for a long time.
Yeah, is there any, I have no idea for the official thing for the SDGs.
The thing I would say is that these sustainable goals were adopted by every nation in the world of all different political and economic, and they're striking when I read this, how much they're close to the Buddha Dharma. They're almost the Buddha Dharma. I mean, there's nothing in there that wouldn't be the Buddha Dharma. So I consider that, that we should go along with this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay.
Buddhism is so new in the US, and you've got to travel and see so many different places. Do you have advice or warnings for Westerners practicing Buddhism, and it being so new to us? Do you see anything that you're watch out for that?
Honestly, there's no warning or there's anything. And when you Zen centers, sometimes I feel the way of the ceremony is different. It's kind of different, but I never think about which is good or not, bad or something. But yes, kind of that thing. Ejo-san is working on it. And so one of the big opportunities for 2022, we try to gather as much as Zen centers, temples together. So at that time, we will have some ceremonies, and maybe we will share the feeling. Yeah. So honestly, I never feel about any decisions. But I want everybody together and feel something. So
Other communities, different temples, have some connection with one another.
But more detailed things. Interesting.
much.